ladies and gentlemen, Stride Valakia, our infamous leaker of ReZero content, has confirmed something. I don't have the tweet with me right now. In fact, if I showed the message, maybe I get demonetized. But apparently, Liliana, you know, the Bard girl, she takes Priscilla to Soapland. Yes. I'm not even trying to make a joke right now. This isn't even an exaggeration. Apparently, in the source material, there is a chapter dedicated towards Priscilla getting rubbed down by Liliana. And it says it's confirmed, fully uncensored. And ReZero fans rejoice. You know what? Let's see the full details.
I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy to have this preview trailer, man. Like, it's so good. I was wondering when we were gonna get some more, like, content for ReZero Season 3, because it's like, ReZero Season 3 is supposed to return this February, like February 5th, okay? That's like less than 2 weeks away.
Woo!
I was just like, when are we gonna get more? Like, when are we gonna get a PV trailer or something? And I just been wondering about that for the past week or so. And finally, earlier this morning, Katakawa delivered, and we got a new PV trailer for ReZero.
Hell yeah.
And my goodness.
It looked great. Sirius flashing her ass. Reinhard using some sort of like Phoenix aura, whatever the hell that is. Regulus shitting his pants. Priscilla licking her lips in joy as she's about to destroy Sirius, I imagine.
My goodness, it looks so good, dude. It looks so good.
It does.
Just seeing all of the Sin Archbishops, seeing the expressions poured into this trailer, hearing the beautiful voice acting, the music and everything. Oh, dude, man, I love ReZero. You know, confession time. Before I go any further, I know you guys want to hear about like why the title is like it is and the thumbnail, but I want to do a brief confession time.
Okay.
ReZero, man, is such a incredible series. It's had such a huge impact on my life that I hold it in such high esteem.
Yeah, me too. I still think that it's one of my favorite animes, if not my favorite isekai, right? I don't know about favorite anime. That might be a crazy thing to say at this point, but definitely number one isekai for me. If we're gonna pick this genre, my favorite isekai is ReZero without a fucking doubt.
I love it so much, and I know not everybody will relate to that, or not everybody will like ReZero to the same degree as I do, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. I know there's a lot of people out there that might even hate ReZero. Nothing wrong with that as well. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. The thing is that I really love ReZero. It is something that really has shaped and changed my life for the better ever since I really gotten into it, and I love it. I love this series. The story is incredible.
I'm not sure if it really impacted my life on that degree, but I can tell you that there has never been a single series of anime that has changed my channel's trajectory of growth like ReZero. Like, for sure, sometimes there are random animes that comes out that hard carries out of nowhere. Eminence in Shadow, for example, was one of those series back in the day. Classroom of the Elite a little bit, right? There are definitely like, you know, exceptional series that carries like the, you know, the viewership on YouTube. But nothing so significant. Like, it's like once a week it pops off and that's it. The marathon that we did in summer, leading up until season 3, every day us covering ReZero to the point that we have, what, almost 400 videos in that playlist. I have never had that much fucking growth in Twitch concurrent viewership. Never had this much Patreon subscribers. And even the YouTube viewership as well. There's something about ReZero and its fan base that is just so much more significant than any other fucking series. Like, no show, not a single series has ever like pushed my channel up like that before. Never.
And every time, you know, years pass on by and more time passes, my fondness for ReZero just grows exponentially. I love this series in all forms. I love the light novel, I love the web novel, I love the anime, I
love the fan art, I love the doujins.
I love the manga, I love the spin-offs, the side stories.
The side stories are so peak. The side stories also has a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of foreshadowing and some crazy plot. Tape loves to just scatter little hints in the side stories that's gonna blow your fucking mind. Like, even like Felt pretty much being confirmed, the, you know, the kidnapped princess of Lugunica, right, is confirmed pretty much confirmed in a side story where it's like a wagon ride between Reinhardt and Ramji just talking about, the past events.
I love ReZero. It's just such a good piece of fiction, and it's something that I really hold so special within my heart. It's such a good feeling to find a series that really can affect you to such an emotional degree that you love so deeply.
Yeah.
I love this series, man. It's so good, and
I still think that arc 3 of season 1 might be one of the best arcs of anime that I've ever fucking seen. Like, this is no longer recency bias. Many months have passed since I witnessed arc 3. What arc 3 was able to do was fucking crazy. Like, immediately start off with us just hitting rock bottom. Having a main character showing faces like that, the author having the balls to depict their main character in such a bad light, and then for him to have such a triumphant, like, redemption, it's crazy. That arc, still, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Like, holy shit. Fucking up at the royal selection. Telling Amelia she has a debt she could never fucking pay back. Just constantly fumbling, burning bridges, fucking up, getting humiliated, hitting rock bottom. Episode 15 happens, right? Is it 15, I think, where it's meeting Betelgeuse, right? It's the episode where, Rem plays Twister and Puck goes berserk and we sleep along with her daughter, right? And then the credits roll. That shit was like, it might be one of like the best episodes of anime that I've ever seen. And then like the triumphant comeback, whale subjugation, that's a fucking boss raid in itself. Immediately into taking out Sin, Archbishop of Sloth's Betelgeuse, right? And all that as people are slowly witnessing Subaru become a fucking messiah. And like, even like one of the most, like, my favorite death of Subaru, which kind of sounds fucked up, but one of my favorite runs ever is the most tragic heroic run where everything is solved. We beat the fingers, yet there's one last vessel that Betelgeuse's soul can possess, and it's Subaru, and he runs off into the forest after everything is saved. You get to see Felix and Julius cry in pain as they have to sacrifice Subaru. Like, that run, that tragic ending is so fucking beautiful. Arc 3, bro, I still think it's my favorite arc of ReZero. I think it is.
I'm glad to have it back. I'm glad that, we're once again going to be seeing new content of ReZero animated in the following weeks. So with that being said, let's get into one of the big aspects of why you
Priscilla going to Soapland.
Clicked on this video, and that is obviously the censorship, or in this case, the uncensored content of ReZero. So I know it's ironic that I'm having to censor this when I'm talking about uncensored content, but that's just YouTube in general,
Yes, and YouTube, you can't really be showing bare flesh like this. They got very good systems to kind of like demonetize your content, and you got to put it through a fucking limited ad review. Every time you complain about why the videos are later than usual, it's because I have to fucking send through a manual review because YouTube bots are thinking too much skin exposed. Now, I'm also not going to be watching this uncensored. I'm not going to get banned on Twitch for this bullshit, bro. If you want to watch this shit uncensored, if a nipple existing is enough to just change your entire experience, go for it. But when I'm making content, I'm not going to risk getting banned on Twitch or getting demonetized on YouTube. We will be reacting to the censored version. And then on your spare time, and on my own spare time, I'll go watch the uncensored.
If I didn't do that, YouTube would not like me. They would basically shadow ban my entire channel. So that's just, it is what it is. But getting into
Wrong. Shadow ban here, again, he has a different meaning. You guys know what I mean by shadow ban, right? We've been all about that the entire time. What he means is you're going to get limited ad, and you got to put it through a manual review.
The point.
Also, fun fact, even if you get limited ads, you actually do not lose out on viewership. And I've tested this. I've tested videos where Giggle reactions actually to 100 Girlfriends where it got limited ads. I published it anyways, and it still got a lot of viewership. I even talked to you to support stuff about this. I even read, like, specifically in the documentation too, about how limited ads, while yes, it will prevent your videos from earning any money, it does not suppress the viewership. That is a fact.
Priscillas are out in the open being ogled on, and this is a very heavily debated topic, actually. And I know that sounds ridiculous and crazy, but let me explain.
What are we debating?
So basically, there is a illustration. I can't show it on screen, sorry, but if you must know, just go to Google, type in ReZero Priscilla fan
Soapland
service illustration, okay?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the first thing you see on Google. If you type it in, whatever you see, it's not my fault, but I'm just saying that it's definitely.
Is it just her taking off her panties? You get to see her just thick ass meat and display?
Going to be one of the first images you see. There is an official illustration of Priscilla basically getting undressed image.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. We've all seen that one where she's bent over and she's taking her black thongs off.
Dressing and all that, and it's a very fan service heavy illustration shot. That's official, by the way. It's official art. And there was a lot of people.
Yeah, that's official art. Can't wait for the unofficial arts to pop up on Twitter. Oh, it's gonna happen, man.
That wondered that.
And you know for a fact, so many people are gonna use this opportunity to shit on ReZero and try to say like, I cannot believe you guys watched this show where it glorifies fan service regarding lollies because Liliana's involved. People are definitely gonna be baiting on Twitter. Absolutely, bro. Blows my mind. And most of them are like diehard Mushoku Tensei fans too. Every fucking time, right? You'll see like a rat emoji on their Twitter bio, and their profile picture will be like Rudius or some other girl, right? And they do everything but talk about their own show. And I guarantee you, bro, the farming drama is gonna happen, and I will be there.
It would probably be more or less not in season 3. There was a lot of people thinking either it was not going to be in or it was going to be very briefly covered. But judging by the PV shots coming out that was released, it's very clear that they did put a lot of attention and focus on it instead of trying to skirt around it. So judging by how that is, most likely it's probably going to be very shameless, great, and it's going to be uncensored. Also very great. Now, this is continuing on with the conversation of uncensored content within ReZero, so let's explain that one. So, obviously, ReZero Season 3, I have a lot of praises for it. There is some negatives I could talk about, and there is some censored content in terms of outfit changes and stuff like that, which I've talked about briefly.
Oh, Liliana, right? She's wearing, like, you know, basically like an extra layer of clothing underneath, and a lot of people are upset about that.
A long time ago. So, yes, there is still content that is somewhat censored within ReZero. But for the most part, it does seem like Season 3 of ReZero has been the least censored content that we've ever gotten from the anime. Don't quote me on that one, but it really does feel like that, because I'm going to give good examples. I mean, we literally have moments, besides obviously fan service.
The series showing her ass? What?
Where we see Lust straight up get her head, like, crunched, okay? In dragon form, or even outside of her form. We saw it, and she just straight.
Yeah, violence and gore censorship doesn't really happen as much because, you know, I guess, whoever is trying to subject, you know, anime into these Western Puritan ideals, they don't really care about the violence censorship. It's more about, like, lolicon stuff. It's more about, like, you know, sexualized fan service.
Straight up regenerates, and it's a very horrific regeneration scene that showcases her abilities.
Great
but
scene.
It's just on full display just to see just the absolute disgusting nature of it. And that's not even including what happened to Subaru. Like, we literally saw this man like get sliced and just stuff fall out of him. I mean, it's very clear that
people love that look from Subaru when he was basically just dead, torso cut diagonally. Subaru's on the ground, but because his luscious hair is now messed up and you get to see his face. So many Coomer people on Twitter was like, oh my god, Subaru is so hot. I wish she was more like this all the time.
ReZero Season 3, the animators and everyone, they don't care. They're going to show everything. And I really like that because obviously the content of ReZero Season 3 is very dark. And I think the content that follows afterwards, aka Arc 6 content, is going to be even darker. And if we can look at and take a judge from this stuff, Core 1 and Core 2 of ReZero Season 3, as an outlook to indicate what we could expect from, let's say, Core 3 and Core 4.
And is that going to actually happen? Will we actually have Core 3 and Core 4 happen to cover Arc 6? I don't think it's confirmed just yet, but we've got assumption based on, like, cover pictures and characters that hasn't, you know, shown up yet, but is prevalent in Arc 6.
So if we assume that they're willing to go this far for the uncensored content of, let's say, Core 1 and Core 2 of ReZero Season 3, we can assume Core 3 and 4 is going to be even more uncensored because there is a certain chapter, I'm not going to spoil, but there is a certain chapter that is in Arc 6 that, going to be blunt with you, is probably the most graphic chapter that the entire series has ever had, in my
is Subaru going to get skinned alive? I heard that Arc 6 is supposed to be, like, so brutal, so difficult, so challenging. Like, all the frustrations that y'all felt during, like, Arc 4 and 2, I guess, or Arc 3, Arc 4, like, instead of being, like, an all-out battle arc, it's just, like, just peak fiction Subaru trying to just suffer over and over again, and I wonder, does he just get skinned alive?
My personal opinion, I believe it's chapter 18 of the web novel, but it's extremely graphic. If you know, you know. And yes, I think it's more graphic than the rabbit scene, even in the light novel.
Really? Oh, Tafe brought up a new way. He's always thinking, how do I one-up the death experience? Trying to make this as just cathartic and as fucked up as possible. The rabbit's eating us up from the inside out. Bro, those rabbits were literally going up Subaru's asshole and eating himself inside out. You telling me there's gonna be a death worse than that? I can't wait.
Anime, way more graphic in my opinion. There's just some crazy stuff that happens. So if we're getting content that's obviously uncensored, to like the fan service, to the violence and stuff, seeing like, you know, the overall regeneration of lust in her face, it's very clear in terms of indication that we're going to continue getting that going forward, and I'm very happy about that. Obviously, the censorship isn't perfect. There is definitely content censored, but it is definitely better than it was, and I really do appreciate that. I extremely appreciate that.
Me as an anime only, not even knowing what the fuck was censored and not censored, just enjoying the ride.
And I'm glad to see that the team that works on the show really is passionate about the show. And I actually was talking to an animator that's working on Core 2, by the way.
Whoa,
Season 3.
insider
and
connection.
They told me they had a lot of fun with working on some of the things they worked on and all that, and they're excited for people to see what they worked on. And they also told me as well that they just, it seems like overall that everything's going solid within it, like you know, the anime and stuff. So there's
no dooming news. Remember that I forgot his name. There was like a Chinese Twitter account that was leaking content about, you know, projects about to happen for fall 2024. And one of his call outs, two of them were ReZero and Blue Lock related, right? And the Blue Lock shit, it was real though. Like they mentioned, do not have any expectations for Blue Lock. Yeah, don't get your hopes up. They were right. They were right. Now, you know, Blue Lock had its moments near the end for sure. But I think overall, still a fucking disaster. They were right about that. But they were also dooming about ReZero, saying the new director, he's incompetent. This is a disaster. I don't think that was the case at all. So if we're getting insider confirmation now from Chibi, I guess bro has the hookups, and they're saying everything's going fine at White Fox, and they had plenty of time with these schedules, with releasing 8 episodes in October, 8 episodes in February, and everything is great. Fantastic. I will wait no matter how long it takes, if it means that ReZero will get the adaptation that it deserves. Bro, finish the 8 episodes in February and make me wait another fucking year, 2026, winter 2026, and you announce that Core 3-4 is going to happen to cover Arc 6. Fuck it, I'll wait. Push it to 2027 because delays. I'll wait, bro. Way better to wait and know that you have something amazing to look forward to than being just given slop and being disappointed and wishing that someone else would fucking take over and finish the job.
Hasn't been any indication that like season 3 is having production hell or anything like that. It seems to be very healthy, and the animators have been given enough time to really work on the said show. So that's very positive. I'm very happy to hear that, honestly. So yeah, just overall, just great news for ReZero fans. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the content within this trailer. So first off, I really do want to talk about the overall like expressions of the characters. Okay. I think the expressions are some of the best things that ReZero has ever offered, honestly, even since season 1. There's always these very up close and personal shots of characters, seeing how they react or their eyes and stuff, especially eyes. There's been a lot of focus of ReZero when it comes to the eyes. Like you see zoom in close shots of, let's say, like Subaru's eyes or Amelia's eyes.
And not just the eye specifically, but those zoom-ins are often used to portray, does the character, like, see the other person the same way? Like, at the end of season 1, Subaru's eyes, you can see Amelia's eyes in his pupils, the reflection. But in Amelia's eyes, you don't see fucking anything. What does that mean? This is a one-sided love. Amelia does not see Subaru the way that Subaru sees Amelia. Maybe I'm tripping, but I think that this is obvious symbolism. In season 2, when they do the kiss, actually, right? The kiss of life, not the kiss of death. Amelia's eyes actually has Subaru present in them. Another thing also is, I guess, the reflections in the mirrors, right? Amelia always rejecting herself because of her appearance being taboo, right? Half-elf, right? The witch of envy, blah, blah, blah. she never accepted herself until the end of the trials. And as she looks into the reflection of the water, what does she finally see? Herself. It's funny that the author of ReZero had to fucking go out and tweet and apologize on behalf of everybody that in the first season ending, there's an ending, a cute day-to-day life, you know, of Emilia just like brushing her teeth, waking up, and there's a very simple scene where Emilia's brushing her teeth and looking at the mirror, and you get to see we get to see Emilia in the mirror, and that was not supposed to happen just yet because of story purposes, and he had to fucking apologize. That level of detail is just fucking crazy. It's so sweaty. Only ReZero would have issues like this. That's how sweaty this show is.
Stuff like that, and I especially love that. But we're getting a lot more expressional scenes within this PV trailer to, like, obviously seeing Raph here, or seeing, like, Priscilla's smile here. Like, there's literally a smile here from Priscilla where she, like...
Yeah, I think that this is meaning that Sirius is cooked. Priscilla gonna fucking cook her up even worse. She already a burn victim. Priscilla, what are you gonna do on top of that?
Like, smiles. It's a very up-close lip scene.
Looks great.
The only character I could think of that did something very similar to this is Rosewall and,
Rosewall is a crazy pronunciation.
Elsa, the Battle Hunter, that has done a similar scene to this. I do love the expressive nature of the characters, and like I said, I love...
Is this fact that there has been no other characters where there has been a close-up zoom of a mouth other than Roswell and Elsa? I feel like that's cap. This is not like a very specific, like, this is not Eternal Circus. This is not, you know, fucking Shadowless. I'm talking about animation mechanics. Like zooming into a mouth and seeing an expression, like, is it that significant to the point that only Roswell and Elsa's ever had this shit? I don't know. Maybe.
Love a lot of these cuts. It feels very nice. Which, speaking of which, we also have really nice cut expressions for Wilhelm here. Like, look at this face here. I'm gonna back up so you can see. But yeah, I like the
very expressive, yes. Fighting his fucking supposed dead wife, and she's back.
Expression, the visible, like, anguish and anger and commitment, I guess, you get from this frame. And this is the beauty of art, honestly. You can pull a lot of emotion out of frames and feel like what the characters are feeling. And I think this is very difficult for an artist slash animator to do, especially in a movement as well. But to visibly see, like, the emotions in a character and how it's expressed for the art, it's beautiful. And like I said, whoever was making these cuts, they probably got emotional while making them. It was not something that was just
I would hope so.
Just to write it off of a spreadsheet and get their paycheck. Clearly, a lot of these scenes, or all these scenes within ReZero, was done from a perspective of passion and love for the project. And once again, really love to see that.
Love it when a studio actually cares about the anime they're adapting and puts in the work, right? Some studios, again, they just fucking it's just another day, they show up to work, and they get their paycheck and their leave, right? And it's just so apparent when we see these countless other isekais that we're watching, all these sloppy fantasy shows where you don't see the love in it, bro. It's just as sloppy, you know, as the medium is. But sometimes there is a very few occurrences where the team working on it just knows the vision, right? They deeply respect the work. They're working closely with the author too. And when you get these combinations of things correct, right? Then you get fucking art. You get actual anime worth watching.
So, one scene in particular I do really like as well is...
Yeah, Sirius's ass. Everyone saw that part. And I think that's important because, again, I asked the question. Nobody really knew how much she band-aids up. Like, where does it begin? Where does it end? Is she all covered up? Is she only face? Does she only do her thighs? Well, now we know. It's all the way up. It's like a bodysuit.
Let's replay. You
Serious Dumpy. Serious Dumpy. Yeah, Serious Dumpy, bro.
The animator, whoever animated this, thought they could sneak this in. Like, you know for a fact they thought they could sneak this in, but they straight up, people were already
Sirius is kind of cheeked up, man. She got the bubble.
Talking about this basically instantly.
Yeah, look at that. I appreciate this. The shading extra here, bro. She doesn't really have, you know, the biggest ass dump truck, but it's a nice shaped bubble butt.
Yes. Yes, this is a very important scene. We definitely needed a full back shot scene.
I think we did. Because again, like, how much does she bandage herself up? All the way up? Just the legs? Like, where does it begin and where does it end? It's all the way.
Jokes aside, though, I'm so happy for ReZero, man. It's so good to be known.
In terms of expressions, I think that Regulus and Amelia really show some cool expressions. Regulus showing one of just desperation and I guess like despair as he sees Reinhardt just pulling up with this fucking Phoenix aura. And Amelia is showing like a face of determination. She is looking bold. She's looking strong. Even this scene right here, this is the ice dagger that Amelia is pointing towards Regulus. Amelia looks stunning in the trailer.
Knowing that we're going to be having more episodes in the next few weeks, and I'm going to be able to sit back and just talk about it again. I love ReZero, man. It's so fun to just discuss on a constant, and I'm glad that, you know, a lot of you enjoy me talking about it too. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be really fun. I'm so excited. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much.
That's pretty much it. ReZero's back. Priscilla's Soapland with Liliana is gonna get animated, uncensored. The trailer's looking fucking sick. And the drama, oh boy, I genuinely, one of my favorite things, you know, whenever ReZero comes back is the orbiters around the space where they cannot fathom other people enjoying shows that they themselves don't enjoy. And most of them, again, are just like Mushoku Tensei glazers who just feel the need to just talk about anything but MT and start random fucking Twitter threads. And oh, it's gonna be juicy. The drama is gonna be fucking great. The conclusion of, you know, the siege in Priscilla is gonna be great. And I hope that we get some news regarding Arc 6, Core 3 and 4. Is Season 3 really gonna go 38 episodes? I don't know. Here's a link to Chibi's video though. Please go give it a like if you did. Check out his channel. I'll see you next time.